Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander Konstantinov. I truly believe that simplicity is an important key, and I'm here to talk about integralOS. It's a roadmap 2035 towards an integral society. And I believe there are two singularities exponentially converging and two big tsunamis coming at us, the exponential evolution of human consciousness and that of technology. And so there's an important tipping point that we're about to reach in 2035 around. It's an arbitrary number, but these are the estimations that 10% of humanity will reach integral consciousness by that time. And that means an explosive change of the entire system, planetary system, towards integral culture, systems, narrative, etc. And so essentially there's an emerging new level of consciousness and the new type of systems that it begets. And there is a challenge that we need to overcome. And the challenge is the coordination issue, specifically the redundancy and siloed efforts of the impact industry, so to say, creating the barriers to mass collaboration. And I believe there's a solution, and that solution must be something of that has the energy of a domino effect, meaning that there's a smallest possible trigger to activate the critical mass of people in tier 2 consciousness for the whole system to shift to a new state. And this is the ethos of integralOS. It's created to provide a roadmap to 2035 towards an integral society. And there are two pieces to it, two sides of the coin in a way. One is the holonic impact mapping, and the other one is an ecosystem of tools, white label ecosystem of open source tools. So what are these two things? The holonic impact mapping is the vision. It's the strategic roadmap. It sets the direction. It identifies challenges in front of us, integral development goals, and acupuncture points of impact, so that we're guided together towards conscious evolution. Whereas the white label ecosystem of open source tools provides the tactics. It operationalizes, it enables execution of that vision by facilitating communication, collaboration, and synergy, and specifically among conscious communities as early adopters, so that we can all together implement this mapping by the means of this enabling infrastructure. And let's talk about the holonic impact mapping. I believe that the best practices for any impact mapping is that it must be holonic or holistic. Otherwise, we don't know if we're looking at a fragment or the whole. It must be built. I mean, in 2024, it goes without saying that it must be built closely with AI, ideally unconstrained AI, not subject to policies of particular companies or governments. And also, I believe it must be open source to enable the wide adoption, so that there is no acquisition by one project of other project. Instead, there is a merger of everybody into one joint vision. And crowdsourced is important for evolutionary purposes, so that it's not set in stone, but evolves over time. And decentralization obviously is a key as well. So specifically, what is the holonic impact mapping of integralOS? Imagine a mind map. It's essentially a mind map, a holonic mind map. And so we start with the 6 pillars, which is the answer to the question, what are humans up to on Earth? And essentially, we're engaged into culture, consciousness, economy, environment, infrastructure, governance, and meta activities, meta pillar. Then we can break those down into focus areas. And then this is important. We identify challenges first before we go into the solutionism. We want to avoid solutionism. So we first come up with challenges. And then we define the development goals. And then we break them down further into the granular acupuncture points of impact or missions. And then we can map existing projects onto that map, onto those missions. So this is the architecture. I believe this is very innovative. There's a bunch of innovations in here, even though it looks very simple. And as this was created, what I realized is that it's holonic, so it's applicable to at all levels: individual, team, organization, eco-village, bioregion, and so on, and the whole planet. And so I realized that there is a lot of tools that this holonic impact mapping drives really and gives birth to. And so there's a lot of them. You don't have to read the slide, obviously, but I'll go through a few and showcase a few tools like that. And they're all being bootstrapped. So most of them are prototypes. Some of them A few of them are not even started, the more advanced ones, and some of them are MVPs or even commercially available products like this one, iPurpose. It's a zone of genius discovery tool that is based on the idea that we're all geniuses when we're in our zone of genius. And so through a holistic taxonomy of talents based on the Enneagram typology, we were able to map those talents and then identify through a test a combination of top 1, top 2, top 3 talents of a person and put their zone of genius into one sentence, which is very useful towards the path of mastery of each person and also to hyper-personalize AI. I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but we got a few seconds. The other one is iMessenger, which is a holonic messaging system. So essentially, the idea is very simple, is that if you mirror the holonic impact mapping towards communication channels, then you have a standardized or interoperable system of how a messenger could look like. So on the left-hand side here, you can see the channels mirror the pillars and the focus areas of the holonic impact mapping, providing topic-based communities essentially and channels of communication for those acupuncture points of impact and the path to a meta larger community via this interoperability. Another one is iMission, which is a matching tool that allows to match a person or a project to top missions or holons they most resonate with. And AI does it very beautifully. There is a GPT that does exactly that. Something we're working on right now is iProfile, an intuitive profile building tool with the idea of holonically mapping personal assets. I won't go further into that. And so we've been doing tryouts with that and doing it on our own team and so on. And the evolution of that is iSynergy, which is a matchmaking tool where AI suggests collaborators and what to collaborate on, giving birth to more tools. So an impact assessment tool is also one of the tools which essentially provides scoring and impact reporting on any project. And then, so when we have profiles of many people, that's essentially a holonic social network together with the messaging system. So we're building one on Notion as a prototype. Then there is an iMarket, because when we have mapped assets, then that's essentially a self-organizing economic engine, provided that multiple conscious communities participate. And that's essentially what I wanted to share. This is how to contact me, and I hope to meet you all very soon. Thank you for listening and have a beautiful day.